We learned in the previous topics of the main elements of the internet like web pages, search engines, cookies, caches, and web browsers. In this topic, we will explore how to use the web browser efficiently and set internet properties on your computer. The example screenshot shows a typical web browser homepage. On the top left, the tabs we can use to open multiple pages. To the right, the minimize, maximize, and close buttons. The address bar just below has a back, forward, refresh, and home button to the left. To the right of the address bar, the favorites button, usually represented with a star. Then a reading option which allows for setting pages to read them later offline. And then the ellipsis, which opens more options. When you see these three dots, it always means that there's more. Just below the address bar is the search bar of the search engine, in this case, Bing. This is where you'll type your keywords and or phrases to search the Bing directory. The page setup for other browsers will contain exactly the same elements, only that they will look different and may be in a different place on the page. Web browsers like Chrome, Mozilla Fox, things like that. Open up your web browser and see if you can identify. Now, to access your web browser, simply click on the E that is allocated on your taskbar. Click on the E and your web page will launch, or your browser will launch on the home page as been set. Mine has been set to Microsoft Edge's start page, which takes me right into my Bing search engine. On the left hand side, I have my back, forward buttons, and I also have a refresh button and then my home button. If I wanted to add a new tab or go to a new page, I can simply click on the plus option over here. If I wanted to search a website, I knew the website's name, I can just type it in here and I can click on search and it will actually search it for me. Remember that this search bar is for directories, search engine directories, and this one is for actual web addresses. On the right hand side, I have my favorites, my read option or my notes option, and I have a sharing option, as well as my ellipsis here, which shows me settings and more, which I can go and explore and see what type of settings I have available or what type of settings I can actually go and set on my web pages. Go and have a look at those, explore your web browser, and also identify the type of web browser you are using. While viewing a web page and or surfing the internet, you may encounter pop-ups. Pop-ups are small windows that pop up on a web page or search engine during viewing. These pages are usually created by advertisers, and this feature can be turned off to stop any unwanted ads from popping up during viewing. They can be super annoying at times, and or you could accidentally click on a malicious pop-up which may be a virus. Let's take a look at a step-by-step process on how to switch them off. Your operating system has the capability to set security levels, privacy, content security, and also any other general settings that are necessary to secure your computer and or for ease of access. To set your browser to block pop-ups, step 1, we open our Internet Properties. Step 2, you select the Privacy tab. And step 3, you mark the checkbox for pop-ups. Let's take a look at a live recording of how we do this. So to activate your internet properties, we can simply just click on the search bar for internet or for Windows 10, and we can type in internet properties or internet options. Okay, just got to get the spelling right there. Right, so there it brings up for me a number of options. Block up pop-up brings up immediately. I just want to go into internet options to show you through the steps or through the various options that are available. On the first tab, we have a general option, and this is essentially where you would create your home page or where you would put in the address of where you want your web browser to go when it starts up. So you can simply just go and copy the address from the address bar in the web browser and paste it in here. At the bottom, we have an option which says browsing history. This will delete any temporary files, any history, any cookies, saved passwords, and web information on exit if you select this checkbox. Once you've made a setting, don't forget to set apply or to click on apply. If you don't click on apply, the settings won't take effect. Then we have our security options, and the one option I want to bring it to you is on the privacy tab. That is the turn on pop-up blocker. This will block any pop-ups that are available or that do pop up from on your screen from time to time. You won't have any unwanted pop-ups, you won't have any unwanted things that come up. If you want to set an additional site for a pop-up or allow a specific site to actually send you pop-ups because you trust the site and you know them, you can simply just add the address in here, and the browser will then allow you to receive pop-ups from that particular site. Don't forget to set your homepage option. Don't forget to click apply once you've made a setting. Don't forget to delete your browser history. This is important, especially if you use your credit card or use personal information. You don't want that to be stored on cookies, or you don't want it to be stored on your computer where viruses that actually attack information on your computer can gain access to that computer. Go and explore, go and see what other options are available for you, and have fun. My start page is going to launch for Microsoft Edge. Depending on yours, remember, depending on whatever browser you're using, your page that's going to start is going to be on that web browser itself. It's taking a bit of time because the internet is probably a little bit slow. That happens with the bigger applications that we have. There it's starting up, can you see? So to always just give your computer a little bit of time. There's a lot of factors that depend on the startup. It depends on what your internet speed is. It depends on what computer system you're running. All that sort of stuff will have a dependency on this. All right, so let's take a look. If we searched for a website, so I'm just going to say Training Force, or those are the words that I'm going to use to do a search with. All right, and I'm going to press enter to execute my search. And then I'm going to click on the search button, and immediately Training Force comes up in the directory for Bing. Notice the icon up here on the left hand side. So I can then just click on the main web browser. One of the things I'll have a look at is I'll always check the site name over here, make sure that it's authentic, it's not something funny, or a lot of times if there's a capital letter in between the small letters or a funny character or whatever the case may be, then you know that it's not an authentic site. So I'm going to click on the site link. That is a hypertext link, all right, or a hyperlink, and it takes me to my web page. It's busy loading. All right, everybody's on the web right now. That traffic is really, really slow, and it's almost like the highway on a weekday in the mornings when you're traveling down the highway. It takes very, very slow to get there, and this is generally what happens dependent on your speed. Okay, so there I have a web page that's open, typically Training Forces web page. If I want to go and evaluate the web page, firstly I can see that there's a legal telephone number up here. It has the right of characters or letters in it. If I go down, I will see other information about the website, all the accreditations, and I can also see that it's copyrighted to this company and it's developed by a specific company. There's an About Us option, there's services, course schedules, and I can also contact them. All right, that tells me enough about the author to be able to say that this is a valid, authentic site, and anything I do on here will be handled in relation to the ICT Act. All right, and then I have my variety of links where I can go on the different options and view different information of the specific website. Okay, so take a look at those, go and have a look at other websites. If you are using, or if you go to a website where you put in your credit card details, or it's an online store, or whatever the case may be, there usually will be a secure icon, or it will tell you that you're entering a secure site. Then you know that your information is safe and you can actually use it. Exactly the same site. What I want to show you here is in terms of printing information from the site or getting information from the site. So if we go and have a look, let's say for instance contact information, Let's just click on contact information. I click on branches. Okay, there it's running for me. And let's say I want to print this information. I could either, it's always best to select the information and then you simply right click and you can copy that information, or you can have it read aloud, or you can say select all. Alright, if I copy the information, I can go and paste it and then print it from there. Otherwise, I would click on my ellipsis and I would look for the option to print. There's the option to print, and I click on print and it's going to take me to a print screen where I can then go and set the settings for my printer, or maybe it's already set up, and I can simply just say print once I've made all the necessary settings. If I wanted to save the page, I could simply favorite it over here. Alright, I could simply favorite it, or I can simply just press the star over here and immediately it will put it for me in a favorites page. It will ask me, do I want a favorite, what's the name, and I can say add to my favorites or to my reading list, and I can go and read that offline. So it's pretty simple. I know other web browsers you would get an option here which says save page. So it all depends on the web browser that you're using. Just have a look around. 10 to 1, it will always be on the right hand side of the page. If I wanted to share this page with somebody for Microsoft Edge, I have the option there to share. Just take a look and hover over the options for a little bit and it will actually tell you what it's all about. Just read the screen. And that's a final wrap for topic 1, Internet Technologies. Let's take a look at what we've learned. Use appropriate research planning to surf the web for a specific topic. Evaluate a website before adding and or entering any information. Set a home page for your browser to open when launched. The first page of a website is also called a home page. Hyperlinks are links that link to different pages or sites. Search engines are like directories that search for criteria or phrases and or keywords we provide. When printing, be mindful of the ecological effect. Select to print only information you need.